Okay, well, thank you for coming here today, and I just thought it would be best to speak to y'all personally.
Okay.
And I want to go over last week's events dealing with the inmate that was left at the courthouse overnight. So I just want to go back over that. February 8th at approximately 5:45 a.m., an inmate was found outside the Coffee County Justice Center by one of the deputy sheriffs that was coming to work that is assigned to the courthouse. That inmate was transported back to the jail. The inmate was checked out and cleared by medical. The administration was then notified of the situation at hand. After that, approximately 6:45 a.m., our internal affairs investigator was notified. He immediately began an internal investigation as to what happened and what the breakdown was. After that, I notified you, the press, and to notify you of what has happened. I knew that you would start receiving calls, so I decided to have my staff contact you and let the public know what had happened. An investigation was conducted last week pending that, and the investigation is as follows. At approximately 4 p.m. on the 7th of February, court was concluded on the first floor of the Justice Center, General Sessions Court. 2 transport officers were used to move 7 inmates back to the jail from the first floor courtroom holding facility. One of the transport officers did not clear the entire holding cell in which the men were being housed in. He did not clear that entire holding cell by physically walking in and clearing the whole cell. The inmate remained quiet in the holding cell bathroom. There is a small bathroom in each holding cell at the courthouse, and it's a little kind of a cubby hole in the corner, and you have to walk in and physically look around the corner to see if anybody is in there. That transport officer failed to do that, and by doing that, Mr. Williams sat quietly in that bathroom area, and it was assumed that all the inmates were present and counted for to be transported back to the sheriff's office. The inmates were removed from that cell. The cell door was left unlocked, which is commonplace when not being used and the procedures of the day are over. A count was found to be done at the jail with this inmate not counted for. 3 corrections officers made another count at the jail with the same results, the same inmate not being accounted for. No further notification was done. This was a complete failure and breakdown in our system. We concluded this investigation, and this is what follows of the breakdown. 1 transportation officer should have cleared the holding cell by walking in and completely clearing every corner of that holding cell. Transportation should have counted all inbound and outbounds of inmates coming and going from the jail and the courthouse. There's times that we have more coming back from court than we have taken over because people have been taken into custody, they've been ordered to court, warrants have been obtained on them, whatever nature it may be. Most of the time coming back, we have more inmates coming back than we do taking over. When the count was done at the jail, supervisors should have been immediately notified and a search conducted, and the administration should have been notified as well. The corrective action that we're taking in this since this time, which is now going on 7 days ago, a new tracking sheet has been developed and is currently being used for the transportation and movement of inmates from here to the courthouse and from the courthouse back to the jail. This department is going to be looking into the purchase of a barcode system where we can electronically barcode in and out and log in our system every movement of every inmate. Not only will that work for going and coming from the jail to the Justice Center, but it can also be used if inmates are going out and being transported for mental health evaluations, if they're going to the hospital, or if they're being transported to another county for a court proceeding or whatever proceeding may take place, and or tracking movements internally in this building. We're hoping that it will be a hospital type wristband with a barcode on it, similar to tracking patients in hospitals. If hospitals can keep up with their patients, this facility should be able to keep up with their inmates. And we're hoping to stop the failure and the breakdown that we had and that resulted in that inmate being left up there. A new SOP was currently, there was a meeting set for last Friday morning until this incident happened, to go over in the drafting of an SOP, standard operating procedure, for our transportation division and our courthouse security division. And we're trying to build its own operating procedure that stands alone and lays out into detail the procedures that's to be conducted by those officers on their daily activities. Now, with that being said, disciplinary action is coming forth on the officers involved in this. It pains me as the sheriff to have to do this, but lessons have to be learned, and the action that is being taken is that one transportation officer is going to receive 3 days off with no pay for failure to his duties, performance of his duties, neglect of the duties in which allowed a prisoner to escape, and the carelessness that took place. 3 corrections officers involved here at the jail for the recount and the daily counting of inmates. 1 corrections officer will receive a write-up in their file and an additional 6 months on probation. A 2nd corrections officer will receive a write-up and a verbal counseling on how to properly maintain counts and notify supervisors. And 3rd, corrections officer will receive a write-up in their file and also will receive 2 days off. And so a total of 4 employees involved in this investigation that we've conducted internally. These are the disciplinary actions that are laid forth in our policy and procedures. Fortunately, the inmate was not a violent inmate. The inmate was charged with domestic violence, and the details of that domestic violence charge was that inmate had got into a verbal argument with his parents over a pack of cigarettes and had knocked a cigarette out of his mother's mouth. And there may have been hands laid on the mother, but nobody was physically assaulted. This inmate had been kind of clownish during the day in court, being a prankster. Did this inmate think that what he did was purposely going to have intentions of leaving him at the courthouse? This investigation resulted no, he did not have that intention. He just thought he was being funny, and it does not matter. All inmates have to be accounted for, no matter for the seriousness of their crimes. All I can do is say that I am terribly sorry this incident took place. I'm no sense in going back in the previous history of incidents that we've had, but in my 20 plus, going 27 years, whatever it may be, we've had multiple incidents. Under this administration, we take this serious. Courthouse security is a very serious issue. We're having lots of difficulties in getting some matters set forth at the courthouse. It's been painful, but it has to be done. And we have a lot of different opinions on how we should conduct security at our courthouse. We have a lot of different opinions about how we're supposed to do our job. And from what I'm seeing, a lot of people know more about how to do our job than we do. But I'm yet to find anybody to come take our place to do that job. So that is what we have done. wanted to bring you out here today to explain to you, as we promised, we would keep you notified and the people of this county notified of what we're doing. We have nothing to hide. Anybody has any questions, come see us, call us. I will come see them. I will answer their questions. I am proud of the work that our officers are doing. These officers have received an amount of embarrassment. They are very sorrowful and very apologetic. They know that this was a very serious matter. This was a very serious lesson learned.